right? We have this one. Now we have that one. What number do you think we could plug in to prove that it's aligned? We could plug in -1, we could plug in 1, we could plug in 2, right? Just as long as it fits. It should be right there, or we could plug in -2, it should be right here. Does that make sense? But if it starts to come down or go up, right, then we know it's curving. But right now, it looks like it's a straight line. And if you were on a graph paper, you would see that it's exactly a straight line. Okay? But when you manually make the graph, it's going to be a little bit twisted, because are every one of these the same distance apart? No. It was man-made, right? It's an art piece. And I'm not a good artist. I'm a good mathematician, but I'm not a good artist, right? So it's only as good as your art. Does that make sense? But when you have graph paper, ta-da, it's set up. Now it will look perfect. See the difference between graph paper, right? Okay? So, what number do you guys want to throw in? Number between these. I don't care which one.
-3 or -2.
-2? Okay. Alright, let's do it. -2. It's a tough number to plug in, but why not? We're tough people, right? I want to plug it in right here. This will give me some space, right? This is a lot of work, isn't it? This is going to take a lot of space, right? Look at these papers. What did I give you? A lot of room. Okay? This takes a lot of work. So, it's not real hard math. It's just very, what we call tedious math. Okay? But we need to learn how to do this so that we know how to plug in things. And so that we know how to graph. Does that make sense? Alright? Alright, let's do it. So x equals -2, right? That's what you said?
Yeah.
Alright, so what does that look like? 6 times what?
-2.
-2. Okay? Minus 5y equals what? -20. So all you're doing is plugging it in. Okay? Then what?
You multiply 6 and 2, or 6 and -2.
Okay, what's 6 times -2? 6 times 2? 12. And one negative makes it negative, right? A negative and a positive is a negative, yeah? So -12. See how it's a lot harder when you plug in a negative? Right? Now you gotta start dealing with negative numbers. But that's okay. Just deal with them correctly, right? Alright. Minus 5y equals -20. What did we do? PEMDAS. Right? So MD. The arrow on top, right? Okay, then what? Add 12. Okay, so these cancel. I get -5y is equal to what? What's -20? I need $20. I have 12. So I got $12 to go to the store, but I need 20. I need 8, right? I'm still -8. Does that make sense? Now this is kind of hard, isn't it? It's coming up weird math. We're not used to this, all these fractions, right? But it's okay, guys. What am I going to do?
Divide.
Who's got that music on? I said turn it off.
I turned it down.
Off, down, which one's that? Off or down? Did I say off or did I say down? I'm just wondering. Because I've got I got video that they're going to be hearing the music and not hearing what I'm saying.
You hear the music
I can hear it from here. So guess what? This is a digital camera that picks up. What?
It's not my music.
Well, whose music is on? That's what I'm asking. Someone's music is on, because I can hear it. So whoever it is, turn it off. That's all I'm saying. Okay. I want to get the 5 over. How do I get rid of the negative 5? Divide by the negative 5, right? It's always the opposite. If it's multiplied, divide, right? People, for one, I'm going to say this to the camera so the parents out there know what I'm talking about. What was our rule in here? What's the rule? When I'm up here talking, what are we doing? We're listening and we're what, Paul? Working. We're writing down what I'm writing, right? This should be in your notebook. What side? Right side. Okay? If you're not following by taking the notes, it's great that you're following by listening. That's awesome. But what's the one pet peeve I have? I don't mind you listening to music while you're working. But if I'm teaching and you're listening to music, it's disrespectful. Right? So one thing I'm trying to tell you guys. Don't be disrespectful. Not to me or any other teacher here. You're never going to go to a college class and have your headphones in and have them on. Because they're going to kick you out of school, not just class. School. Thank you for your tuition. Goodbye. Don't come back to campus. You're not going to disrupt anyone else's class time in college. You feel me? So you guys are young adults. It's time to act like it. Stop being disrespectful. Alright, so we divide by negative 5. This stuff is hard enough, people. We don't need to make it harder by having some earphone in your ear. And you can't hear what's going on. You don't need to make it harder by not taking notes. You don't need to make it harder, right? By not following along. Does that make sense? Okay? And I tell you one thing that's very frustrating is when you're on this, watching this at home. For one, it's frustrating watching me go off on you guys like this. That's frustrating. But you get to fast forward through it. Not like in class. But for two, the biggest complaints I have from students, why are all the students talking? Why do I hear all this other side conversations? It's so annoying. I can't really hear you because I'm hearing everybody else. That's all I hear from the past YouTubes. So look at my past YouTubes from the past years that I've been here. And you'll understand what I'm talking about. And you'll hear me say the same name over and over and over and over. And I'll tell you, it gets frustrating. Because you're trying to learn when you're watching this thing at home. A lot of kids are using this to learn. So playing your music to where that can hear it, talking to where that can hear it, right? Takes away from our conversation. It's hard enough. This is hard enough without you guys making it harder on yourself. Does that make sense? Enough said. Okay, what does y equal? We've got two negatives make a what? Positive. So we got 8 over 5. Can that be reduced? Does anything go into 8 and 5? No, right? Just 5 and 8, right? Just 1, right? 1 goes into 8 and 5. So it can't be reduced. Can we make it into a mixed fraction? Is 8 bigger than 5? Yes. So, how many times does 5 go into 8? once. With how much left over? 3. 3 left over what?
8.
No, the 5. Right? 3 left over the 5. Right? Because the 3 comes from the 8, right? We took 5 from the 8 and there's 3 left. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, so at -2, what are we plugging in?
What?
At -2, what are we plugging in for y? What is it?
1,
At 3/5, right?
2,
Okay. Now, what happened here? I don't know what my black is. What's my black? SA. Good job. Okay. What about my red? What happened there? DM. Good. You guys are getting it. All right. What happened to the y? We simplified it. Yeah, we actually turned it from a mixed fraction to what we call an improper fraction. And if you want to write that, that's awesome. If you want to say simplified, that's great too. Well, we took it from an improper fraction to a mixed